The conventional understanding is that we understand each other through a combination of shared language, common context, and empathy. This model posits that an idea or feeling is encoded by a sender using words and nonverbal cues, tone, body language, transmitted through a channel, and then decoded by a receiver. Understanding is achieved when the decoded message accurately matches the original intent. It is a process of successful information transfer, reliant on a shared codebook of culture and experience. However, this perspective hinges on the assumption that an idea can be perfectly packaged and transferred from one mind to another without loss. The critical point of tension is that every act of communication is an act of translation, not transference. You can never experience my subjective reality of sadness or joy. You can only interpret my words and actions through the filter of your own experiences of those states. We are fundamentally isolated within our own consciousness. Therefore, the notion of a perfect, high-fidelity exchange is an illusion, and misunderstanding is not a failure of the system, but its default state. This realization compels us to reframe the entire inquiry. Instead of asking, how do we successfully transfer an idea between two separate minds? We must ask a more profound question. What if understanding is not an exchange of information at all, but the emergent property of two conscious systems temporarily synchronizing and resonating with each other? An answer to this might be found not in communication theory, but in systems thinking, or even physics. From the perspective of a mycologist, human connection might resemble a mycelial network. Understanding isn't a single signal, but the web of interactions itself, the shared history, the subtle exchanges, the mutual support, that creates a distributed intelligence existing between the individuals, not within them. Alternatively, using the metaphor of quantum entanglement, when two people truly understand each other, their mental states may become correlated. A shift in one person's perspective or feeling is instantaneously reflected in the other, not because a message was sent, but because for a moment, they are behaving as a single unified system. Understanding in this light is the experience of this spooky action at a distance. Ultimately, what makes one understand another is not a shared dictionary, but a shared rhythm. It is not the act of one mind successfully mapping the contents of another, but the temporary dissolving of the boundary between them. Understanding is the feeling of two separate melodies of consciousness weaving together to create a fleeting consonant harmony. It is a fragile, emergent state that exists only in the space between people, a collaborative act of creation, not a transactional act of exchange. We never truly understand another person. We sometimes get to participate in a moment of us,